South Africa, and your colleagues, the coaches, the sport academy, school sports, officials of the department, the media, and our players. Good morning.
Good morning.
We're meeting here in the year when we're celebrating the life of a great man that has ever touched the face of the earth. And in his own words, Tata Madiba had this to say about sport, that sport can create hope where once there was only despair. It is more powerful than government in breaking down racial barriers. And it laughs in the face of all types of discrimination. And when Tata Madiba was saying this, he was saying this because he understood that it is when girls and boys are in the sport field, they forget the color of their skin. But I like one of the fathers of black consciousness, who also reminded us that there is no such a thing that is called black or white. We are human race. So I want to start to refuse to be called by the color of my skin. Because the color of your skin should not be a reason to be described in a particular way. I'm saying this because when we defend Caster Semenya, for the past years since 2009, when we've been saying hands off Caster, we have been saying this and saying that they are doing this to Caster because she's black. And I want us as women here today to stand up and defend Caster, not as a black girl from Limpopo, but as a woman. Because as a woman, you've been told that your place is in the kitchen. You've been told that you are weak. You've been told that you amount to nothing. And you've been told that it's only the man who can be the best. And that is why this month I'm going to yet another summit in Botswana, which is called Africa Women in Sport. Because it is in that summit in 2016 when we said that we need to continue to defeat patriarchy in sport. The reason why we don't have television here today from the SABC is not because this is not important, but if it was a male squad going to represent Limpopo, you'd probably be having 3 televisions here. But because media has been on the side of sport, men's sport, for the longest time, we need to start to challenge the status quo. That is why even your tournament's president, you will find it very difficult for it to be broadcasted in all. Moloko corrected me the other day and said it's not broadcasted, it is broadcast. Yeah. You will see that the same energy, the same resources, and the same time that is invested in women in sport is not given. It's given. It's not the same amount of time, energy, and resources that's invested in women in sport. You can sit the whole day and watch repeats and repeats of Sundowns and Baroka and Polokwane City and repeats and go to sport channel sport channel 4 SS4 and 204 and watch repeats and repeats of PSL, repeats and repeats. They will even show you the FIFA World Cup 2010. But you will not see the repeats of the Baobab playing. If you are lucky, they will show you the games around 11 o'clock in the evening, when everybody else is sleeping, because they know people don't even care to watch them. And this needs to change. This needs to change. It needs to change, but it can only change when, as women, regardless of the color of our skin, we stand up and say, we too matter. We need to start to advocate for women in sport. And this can be done by ourselves as women. When we were at the Africa Women in Sport in 2016, one of the things that was, very shocking for us to learn is that women are not able to can go and participate in sport without men having to ask them for sexual favors. And I'm saying this, I know men are here president of presidents, but I want to talk to these patriarchal tendencies that continues to thrive in sport even when we have been emancipated, we have been liberated rather, 24 years ago. And we are saying that if you just continue to speak about coaching and empowering and you don't talk about these things, you will be very much shocked to see a young girl at the primary who is doing very well, but at the high school that girl is no longer there. And the possibility could be that she was raped by the coach. The possibility could be that she was not even raped by the coach. Because I had to travel when I was playing netball from my home in Seshego to Bukamoso, which is about 10 kilometers. The possibility is that I could be raped on the way. And the young girl, instead of her talking, she decided not to talk and she decided to stay home. Therefore, over and above talking about sport and being competitive and saying, how do we build the technical expertise in sport for women? We need to sit down and say, how do we make sure that we protect and defend these women? Because this is the creme de la creme of the province. And we want to see this creme being selected in the national squad in the next years. But they won't be able to be selected in the national squad if we don't stand up, both men and women, and say, with them, if they don't stop supporting them, then they'll start saying that they've got some particular level of testosterone, something that I can't even explain. Just so that you stay home, so that men could continue to be the best of the best, so that you can continue to talk about Usain Bolt. But when it's Casper, it can't be normal, because she's a woman. Therefore, women, let's stand up and fight for other women. Today, you are going to be a team that is going to represent the province at the national space. And I said this to you and the others that probably might not be here today, that a baobab tree is a very great tree which is synonymous with Africa. It is a tree that resembles strength, resilience. And when you look at the baobab tree, you will understand the reason why they gave you the name, the baobab tree. And every time when you go and represent the province, you need to understand that you are the baobab. And meaning that you've got what it takes to go inside and fight, and not only fight, and fight to win. Here in the provincial government of Limpopo, and I hope that one you particularly recorded it, because we are always accused not to be supporting sport, that you said it, President, that the province has helped them a great deal. And actually in your word as a coach, is that the government has done everything for them. It might not be everything, but we went to a particular length to make sure that you are supported, so that when you go there and represent the province, you don't just look shabby and look like you are from a rural province of Limpopo, because we are not a poor province. We are a province that produces diamonds and platinum. So you must look like such when you go to represent us. We have supported this team through our Limpopo Sport Academy. We have made sure they've got equipment, we've made sure that they have a proper technical support from coaching, empowering. We have seen there, we've got physicians here. And what I have encouraged to the HOD of the department, the Limpopo Sport Academy, is that we need to make sure that we strengthen our in-year support for the team, so that every other weekend, every other month, we've got competitions and tournaments that we participate on, so that we don't just become active a month or 2 months before the league, but we continue to make sure that we form a strong, formidable team that will even go and represent the province out of the country. We've also said, President, that this year we need to work with the universities that we have in the province, which is something that we've not been doing as well as we'd love to. I have a meeting with the chancellors, both University of Limpopo and Unive, to say how do we strengthen university sport, because I know provinces that are doing well, many of the players, we take them from universities. And also it also happens with football and other sport code. So we are going to be strengthening our relationship and our work that we're doing in university sport, so that we can make sure that this university sport, the facilities that they have, they also help us to take sport forward in the province, in particular netball. And also on the Limpopo Sport Academy, this year we are finalizing our plans. We are using currently the Capricorn High School, but we have one of the best facilities here in town, which is called the Defense Force, which has not been utilized for over 2 decades. So what we have said is that because that facility has got everything we need for one of the best sport academies, we're going to work with them. So we have finalized everything that needs to be done. If I'm correct, Slate, we have to make sure that we work now in terms of the improvement of the structure, so that when we want to host, the camps, when we want to host any training session, we know that the facilities is the best of the best. And I want to say that Limpopo has produced. Yesterday, my social media account on Facebook was reminding us that last year, on the 1st of May 2017, we're congratulating Gift Mwepe. Gift Mwepe is playing for the Pirates, right? In the USA. And Ujamo Hoshimakala. We continue to produce the best who goes and play in the world stages. And that is what we want to see here. I want that in the next 10 years, I look at my television and I see you representing the province everywhere in the next 5 years. And let us be inspired by those who continue to do well. I've spoken about Castasiminya already. Let us be inspired by the fact that coming from a rural province is not a disadvantage. Coming from a rural province, it is you to remind yourself that I need to work 5 times harder than those who come from the cities. And once you can set your mind to that, you will achieve. Castasiminya comes from a rural area where there was no sport track, there was nothing that could make her to be at the equal footing with the rest of the world. But today, she gets into the track with a girl that comes from, USA, Brazil, and actually the developed countries. But she beats them. She doesn't beat them because of anything, because she has told herself that I am not going to let my rurality define my destiny. And that is what needs to inspire you. And I want to leave you with this quote. And I want you, our team, to stand up and listen to the quote while you are on your feet as I close. Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frighten us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, and fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God. Your play small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. You are born to make manifest the glory of God that is within us. It is not just in some of us, it is in everyone. And as we let our light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others. You can never sit. So as you let your light shine, you are unconsciously you are unconsciously letting the light of that young, poor girl from a village shine. As you let your light shine, you are unconsciously saying to any young girl in the province of Limpopo, if they did, so can I. When you light your light shine, you are saying to those who have been told that you can't do it, to be able to say, there's this language that is used on social media that says, if they did it, I can do it too, right? And we want to continue to invite all of you that from the 27th of May, we are the home of COSAFA tournament. This is 14 countries of Southern Africa: Madagascar, Malawi, Tanzania, Lesotho, Namibia, South Africa, Zambia, Zimbabwe. All of the 14 countries of SADC will be in the country from the 27th of May. But I will make sure that I'll come and support the girls. And like I said, from the team, the Baobab team of 2017, I will come on the official opening and I'll come at the semi-finals. So you decide. You decide, right? I'll come at the opening and I'll come at the semi-finals. So if you're not in the semi-finals, you're not going to, right? Oh. I'm going to ask the team to stand up on their feet. And they're going to come here. And we're going to make sure that we make them look the part. And as we make them look the part, let us always be reminded that you are going to represent the 5.5 million citizens of South Africa. Of Limpopo, I beg your pardon. Botswana has just